My philosophy is very simple. Whatever you do, put everything you've got into it. Success, failures are all part of the process. Meesai Murukku had done wonders for Hiphop Tamizha. Back then, rap was considered only to be fillers. Instead of using an instrument on a BGM, we put a rapper there.
Hi Adhi, welcome to Film Companion 7.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Let's say we draw two parallels. You have your own successful path as a musician. Now, when you compare that with your acting trajectory, your path as an actor, how do you look at it? Like, not just in terms of priorities, but in terms of how tough it was for you to become a musician compared to comparatively easier it must have been for you to become an actor. How do you kind of compare both these?
No, actually, I think all those things became very easy because I was playing much more tougher part earlier. I was being an independent musician.
Correct, yeah.
So there you have to be the director, the actor, the music director, even the light man sometimes, the cameraman sometimes, and whatever extras sometimes. So everything you'll have to do it on your own. And after your production is over, you'll have to take that thing, you'll have to go market it, you'll have to be your own distributor and everything. So once you become that independent musician, all this is like, you have people doing stuff for you. So that was the toughest part. With no resources, breaking in and coming in, making you visible to people, that was the toughest part. I don't think these things compared to that independent musician stage, all this is fine.
When you talk about priorities, no, do you think at least the amount of time that you've got to devote to music has somewhere been affected after you've become an actor?
No, not at all, because I don't look at this as a job. This used to be my passion. This used to be my dream. And once it started getting fulfilled and once I was living my dream, I made it a point that it has to be, it doesn't have to be my work. It can always be my passion.
So is acting also like that? Acting also is totally passion?
Yeah, acting is, that is why I do one movie a year. I can actually do 3 or 4 movies a year, but I do one movie a year because I travel with the movie. So my philosophy is very simple. Whatever you do, put everything you've got into it.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Success, failures are all part of the process. Doesn't matter. Whatever it is, give your 100 is my thing. So acting, last movie, I had to be a hockey player. I could act as a hockey player, but then I wanted to know the game. I wanted to, because I am here just because of the love my fans have, all my circle, or my friends, everybody have given me love, and that is why I'm here. So I want to repay this love with utmost sincerity. So when I give back this love, whatever, if I'm a hockey player, I need to look convincing on screen. I cannot cheat those people who had given me so much of love. So I wanted to learn hockey. So that is the 4-month process of learning hockey. Even in this movie, when I decided I have to be that actor now, I have to step into that acting shoes. So I had a very brief 1.5 months of proper training with the director to understand the character. Not a training phase, but to understand what it exactly is. So that was, this preparation is what I believe in. So whatever it is, music or acting or whatever it is, give my 100%. After all these 3 movies, I'm planning to do an independent album next, which completely makes no sense if you look it from the
stardom or the
perspective of, financial perspective or whatever it is. But then that is who I am. I started out doing what I wanted.
And that will also take a lot of your time, like couple of months.
That will take my time, but I'm happy doing it. After this movie, a lot of my well-wishers are like, are you foolish? Because after 3 movies, giving 3 movies back to back, you should be concentrating more on acting or at least do music. But then I'm like, I'm doing music, but independent music, back to independent music. I want to take this break, do an album.
Is the decision also because at some point you felt like your music was also changing too much to suit cinema?
That was until I did Meesai Murukku. So after Meesai Murukku, I've got the wheel back in my hands. So I'm driving the car now. So when you take Natpethuri, I had 3 full-length rap songs, like in the movie soundtrack. When I did for Anirudh also, it was supposed to be a filler.
Yeah.
So back then, rap was not considered only to be fillers.
Correct.
Instead of using an instrument on a BGM,
we
put a rapper there.
Yeah, usually with English lyrics.
Yeah, with English lyrics that you don't have to relate to or something like that. But then, right now, it is completely changed. My last movie had 3 complete rap songs, and now
Missy Murka had all the
Mise Murka, you have raps in here and there.
Yeah.
So even in Nan Sirital, it's a complete. There is a romantic number called Dom Tom. I put in few bars there. So I'm living the rapper dream here and there in the
the
movie.
8 Mile and everything
yeah,
together.
everything together. But then I want to come back to that proper hip hop, do a thing for the hip hop scene in the south of India. So I want to do one. Take a break, do this. And right when I started doing, people said all this hip hop won't work out. But right now, after all this, being an actor and what the perks that I've received with this is that if you go down to Madurai or to somewhere around, suburbs and ask, do you know hip hop? People might not connect it with the genre. They might rather connect it with the person.
Correct. Yeah.
So we've come this far. Now everybody knows hip hop as a person. But what I wanted to have was a hip hop scene. When I was an independent artist, I got on stages, said I wouldn't go to movies. I'll be that independent musician. But then when there was no food on the plate, I had to, save
Did that
myself.
upset your fans at that point? When you decided to do a first film?
People wanted me to, it was either quit or there was nothing
survival,
there. There was not even the streaming revenues back then. So it is either quit or you do something to survive. So I actually did music. So I was not doing something different. I came back with music. Even in my first movie, as a music director, I had a full length. I sampled an old song and put a few raps in there.
Yeah.
It had rap.
The flashback song, yeah.
Yeah, so that was there. So when there was no, my survival became a question, I had to step in there. But I'm very happy now that right now people know hip hop, but they might not associate it with the genre. I'm talking about the very common people, not the ones who have access to internet and search.
Correct.
The ones who are very common on the streets, you go, common people, they might associate hip hop as a person. But right now, if I start saying what is hip hop, it might be a very big thing for the scene and also all the future young talented rappers coming out in the scene right now. So I want to that was my dream back then. So right now I am in a position where it can actually happen if I take a break from climbing up my own journey.
Yeah.
If I take a little break and I could do that, it could actually act as a platform for a lot of much more talented rappers. I see a lot of talented rappers. When I compare myself with them, I see them to be much more talented, but they haven't got their break yet. So all these youngsters, I want to give a platform.
But even though you're trying to create something in independent music, you're only able to do it with the fame and the popularity cinema has given you.
Yes.
It's like on very...
That is the truth. There will be a day. There will be a day where this will be a parallel industry and this will... If you look at my old interviews, I used to say there will be a day when there will be a complete full rap song which I do in a movie. Yeah. Now it is happening. Now 3-4 songs are coming in a movie. So there will be a day where there is a separate industry.
But you mentioned that Mise Murka kind of brought you back. So what were you feeling at that point when you were doing other films and not getting that 100% satisfaction? So what is that like?
Other films, there will be a director, there will be an actor, there will be a producer. You are just a music director who has to deliver the work that is given to you. But when Mise Murka started, I was being the director and the actor, and it was a Hiphop Tamizha movie, so everything is Hiphop Tamizha, lyrics, music and everything. So I was able to do what I was doing in independent music in that movie, like able to tell my perspective of what I wanted to tell, but added few flavors and stuff, and it did well. It became a huge hit. It started to be the break for me. So I thought, okay, well, I'm back on the driver's seat. So I got to call the shots. Okay. So I started calling shots like, okay, next movie, let me keep this rap song here. The interval sequence was one big rap song in my last movie, and that has more than like 30-40 million views now. And so, yes, I think what I dreamt long back is starting to happen, and in another 5 or 6 years there will be a separate industry here.
Okay. Apart from that, to what extent do you kind of have to thank the internet for making you who you are? And is that also why you're from the first movie that you did, you're continuously choosing actors from YouTube and from the independent space, at least for acting is concerned, you're taking them and making them a part of your movies. Is there some kind of a musician thinking there as well?
No, it is more like when I started rapping on college stages, there was no YouTube. So YouTube came in 2005, I think. So 2005 or 6, I had a YouTube account. But then I had to get on college stages, tell people that there is something called
Called
YouTube. So
YouTube.
please go. There will be a music video of me performing. Watch that. And I didn't know what to do with that. Back then, YouTube didn't even have monetization. You could not even make money through that. So there was nothing for us. All we used to get was money through shows. All these shows, and this is what we were able to do. So when that thing started, I've always earned for, I've always expected something will happen, some miracle will happen. I've had college stages, very interesting stuff. I've had, back then there was this rock thing happening in
Of
whole
course,
of
yeah.
Chennai. There was
All the colleges.
Yeah, rock fest everywhere. So
Heavy metal and
and everything. So those days, we have me, my beatboxer, my partner Jeeva, we'll go there, we'll go to stages, we'll enroll. And you'll have a certain rules and thing like that. It should be a 7-piece band or a 5-piece band, or you'll have 2 minutes for sound check and 10 minutes to perform. All these rules will be there. Only then you'll have to give the name with your band. So we'll give the name, we'll go on stage, Triple will start beatboxing, I'll start rapping. 2 minutes before they get us down from the stage, we will have the crowd at our thing. Yeah. So then they can't make us get down from the stage. We know we won't get praise, we'll be disqualified, but we just wanted to have a space to perform. Hip hop was not even accepted back then. So this internet gave us to exhibit. The internet became a stage for us to reach more people. So after that, once money started coming in through internet, that became a revenue model by itself. Then we started making out, strategizing things, and we had a very long journey. But when I see youngsters stuck at that same point, I was stuck 10 years back, and they all they need is just one push. I can see much more talented people, like very, very talented people, but I'm just wondering why they are not yet, recognized all over. So when I started making movies, when I had the wheel in my hand, I decided, okay, this car is anyway going to go to the destination, and it's going to go without any passenger. Why should it go without any passenger?
Yeah.
So make sure everybody got space in the car, and let's all drive along.
Yeah.
We'll have fun along the way, and everybody can reach the destination together. So
yeah, this is also because you're kind of like a pioneer in this part of the country, right?
maybe I broke
Yeah.
from that YouTube digital space in the south of India. Maybe I'm the first one to break that and get into the movie, become a actor, all the director stuff, maybe make that mainstream. I want to be that bridge for youngsters who want to make the transition into. So I make sure my first movie I had 14 newcomers from YouTube.
Okay.
So in every movie I make it a point that I at least act as a bridge for them to make that transition. Correct. And it is up to them to stay here or go back there. But I always want to be a platform for them.
How do you look at a film like Gully Boy? What Gully Boy did to hip hop in the north compared to what you've done for hip hop in Tamil?
No, we haven't started doing anything for hip hop in Tamil.
Yeah.
Meesai Murukku had done wonders for Hiphop Tamizha. Yeah. Next, we are on. That was Ranveer Singh doing a Gully Boy. This is nobody making a movie on himself to tell people that there is something called hip hop. It is a journey. So I was not a star when I made my first movie about myself. So I was not a star then. But then that is the start of the process. So Meesai Murukku has laid that foundation for people to believe that you can tell your story no matter who you are. If you've got that, you can tell your story, and you can also tell your vision in that story. And when it will happen after 5 or 10 years, you can sit back and have a hearty smile when it happens. So that is the first step we've laid there. Meesai Murukku told, it is not a hip hop film.
Yeah.
It told the story of a youngster trying to make it big. Next, I'm starting to produce research documentaries about my mother tongue, Tamil language. Course, yeah. Tamil it's an 8-part documentary. So I have a label now called Underground Tribe. It's not a label, it's a community center for all rappers to come there, jam and everything. So I gave this my whole studio space. The ground floor is full of artists coming in there jamming, and I just make it free for everybody to come have a jam and find out their talent. So I'm doing all that right now. This is all steps I'm putting. So maybe in another 5 or 6 years, when you come down to the south of India, or at least in Tamil Nadu, there will be a very strong hip hop scene.
Okay. Hey, thanks so much for speaking with us, Adhi.
Thank you.